Good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve and Gabriella Collins coming to you from beautiful, cloudy San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I hope, again, you are as thrilled as I am with the opportunity that we have both been given to have a new day in order to live the life that we choose to live by the decisions that we make and the way that we think. It's my desire today to give you a massive life hack in respect to how you show up every day in this life. Do you know, whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or not, people have identified you. People have identified you. They've identified you as being a negative person who tends to think and speak negatively, or they have identified you as a positive person who tends to think and behave positively. You are known by one or the other. If you're not sure and certain, oh, I know for sure they think I'm positive, you're one of the people that they think are negative. Now, the good news behind this is something you can change. I, too, at one point in my life, dealt with a lot of negative thoughts, negative self-image, negative self-defeating, sabotaging behaviors, and you can learn your way out of that. You can be transformed by the renewing of your mind and the way that you think. And so today I'm going to give you one life hack that has a massive impact on how you choose to show up in life, and that's learning to love what you cannot control. You see, learning to love what you cannot control is the difference between you being a victim of your everyday life. You are victimized by people and circumstances every day. Or you are Indiana Jones every day. What do you mean by that, Steve? You're Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones lived a life of adventure. He was always looking for cool stuff. He was always up for the task. When things caught him off guard, he adapted and he adjusted and he overcame. Think about how different Raiders of the Lost Ark would be when Indiana Jones ran into an issue and went, this sucks. I don't know any of these people. I don't know where they are. I don't have any help. Like, this is terrible. I didn't see this coming. He would not be our hero. He would just be like other people we know. Maybe you. You see, learning to love what you can't control is a decision that is premeditated. It is a decision you have made before you find yourself in a circumstance that is outside of your control. It is a decision that you've made about how you are going to speak to yourself in that moment when you are presented with a circumstance or a situation or a person that's out of your control. And by the way, every other person besides you is out of your control. You can't change anybody. You can change you, can't change anybody else. You can certainly influence others, and yet typically change from those around you comes when you change yourself and they begin to respond to that. So learning to love what you can't control is about training your mind for an attitude of adventure versus victimhood. Let me give you a simple example. Angela and I just recently traveled for my 51st birthday to San Francisco. And if you have ever traveled in your life, you know that one of the things that accompanies travel is lots of things can happen that are outside of your control. And I am an observer of people, and I love airports because I love to observe how people respond when something happens outside of their control. Typically, this is what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, our flight has been delayed. It looks like we're not going to be taking off for another hour or so. We've got some mechanical issues that we're working out on the plane, and we will be back to you as soon as possible. I love looking around because everybody's like, oh, I can't believe it. We're coming back. And everybody loses their stuff. They just lose their stuff. Like I observed, nobody loved what they couldn't control. Nobody. Except one guy. Right here. I was the psychopath. I went, boom. Angela, did you hear that? It's going to be an hour delay. I am so grateful that they pay such close attention to these aircraft that if there's a mechanical issue, they're going to take care of it. I mean, better to find out right now than to find out in the air. You know what I'm saying? What a blessing that is. You know what that does? That gives us an hour. You want to go shopping? You want to go grab something to eat? You want to go get some water? You want to go walk around the airport, check this place out? Let's do it. Let's call the kids. Let's hang out. And she's like, cool, let's do it. And she's getting the overflow of my bubbly effervescence on a regular basis. It drives her nuts sometimes, and yet she definitely appreciates that we were the only people out of probably 100 plus that said, all right, this is out of our control. We love it. It's all good. It's going to interfere with the plans a little bit, but you know, so what? This is an adventure, dude. Indiana Jones, bruh. You got to Indiana Jones it if you're going to have a happy and a big and a wonderful life. You just got to Indiana Jones it. Okay, so now we arrive, we get to the destination, we get to the rental car place, and what do the rental car people play? You've seen it on Seinfeld. I'm sorry, sir, you have your reservation, but we gave the car away. Well, what do you mean? You gotta have a car for me. You couldn't have given away, had a reservation. I know what a reservation is, sir. I don't think you do. You see, you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. You guys remember Seinfeld? Great stuff, right? I'm sorry, sir, but we don't have the car. I was watching people lose their stuff in line, upset. I come up, Mr. Collins, how do you do? Great. And so we don't have the car. You don't have the car? You don't have the car for me? Like, for real? The guy's like, yeah, no, we don't. I said, that is fantastic. I am so glad you don't have that car for me. Let me tell you why I'm excited. Because it's my birthday today. I got 7 children at home. I am here with my lovely bride for my birthday to be in your beautiful city. And here's the deal. If you're looking for a customer today that you can abuse with an upgrade, right to a convertible, I can handle the abuse, baby. Starts laughing, and says, follow me, takes me to a convertible Camaro, which we got to use throughout the entire trip. You see, learning to love what you can't control. We get to the hotel. We go into the hotel. We're about 3 hours before check-in. The guy's name was Steve. Everybody's bitter. Poor Steve is behind the counter doing the best that he can. I come up, I go, what's up, brother Steve? I'm Steve too. Oh, hi, how are you doing? I say, I'm doing fine. I say, hey man, is there any chance our room is ready right now? And he goes, let me check. Sir, I'm really, really sorry. It doesn't look like what happened for the next 3 hours. I said, next 3 hours? I said, Steve, do you know what that means? That means I can explore your city, dude. That means I can walk the streets. I can go check stuff out. You're gonna have to tell me what I can do for the next 3 hours. And it's my birthday. I got 7 children at home. I'm here with my beautiful bride. And I just want to say something. If you're looking for a customer to abuse, you know, with an upgrade, I could take the abuse. He starts laughing, out of control, and he goes, Mr. Collins, that is the funniest thing I've heard all day. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put you up on top on the 26th floor with a city view room overlooking the city. And let me get your cell phone number. I will personally text you, and I'll make sure your room is the next one clean so you guys can move in. I'm like, well, thank you, brother Steve. I appreciate that. Now, Angela has gotten used to this attitude that I carry with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not happy because all kinds of stuff goes right in my life. Okay? All kinds of stuff goes right in my life because I'm happy. I am the thermostat that sets the atmosphere. My joy, and your joy too, should be so valuable and sacred and precious to you that you have made a decision you are unwilling to give it away to a situation or circumstance outside of your control. If you learn to love what you can't control, life becomes an adventure. Versus resisting what you can't control and getting bitter and angry and pissed off and whining, and then you become a blanket-carrying, thumb-sucking, snowflake, Whiner of America Club member. You don't want to be that person. No. You got got to be the bigger person if you're going to have a bigger life. Your life is made up of how you respond in situations outside of your control. Gabriella was with me on our way home last year when I was making a live video. Guess what? We got it. People are always worried about me. You drive that car. Aren't you worried about getting into wrecks? No, I'm not. Driving an HEV with 7 kids? Dangerous. Driving with an angry Latina next to you? Dangerous. Driving while I'm having a phone conversation I have to think about? Dangerous. Talking out into the world while I'm being recorded is the easiest part of my life. I was drag racing funny cars at 15 years old. I ain't scared at all. I have been in 3 wrecks. All 3 times somebody hit me. While we were video recording, I got hit in my car. And I said, woo-hoo-hoo! We just got in a wreck. They just hit us. This is great. Gabriella's like, what the actual hell, Dad? Seriously? I'm like, yeah, every time I've gotten into an accident, I've picked up 2 house deals for my real estate business. You know why? Because I'm going to meet the person that hit me, and I'm going to be cool. I'm not going to be, I need to call a lawyer. I'm going to say, no, I'm good, man. I'm fine. I CrossFit. I'm in good shape. I'm in good health. I'm fine. You're going to be okay. I'm not going to sue you. You don't have anything to worry about. Number 2 that I tell them is if this is the attitude I have when I'm in a car wreck, imagine the attitude I have as your real estate agent when I'm going to help you through a challenging real estate transaction. Piece of cake. Then I get to meet the cop and have the same story with the cop. Then I get to meet the dude at the body shop, have the same conversation with the dude at the body shop. Then I get to meet the painter that painted the car and go compliment him. Did you do this job? You did a great job. Wonderful. I appreciate the level of expertise that you did in painting my car. If I can ever help you and your family with the same level of expertise and attention to detail in a real estate transaction, I'll take good care of you just the way you took care of me, bruh. Then I get to meet the enterprise rent-a-car guy. And several of them, I'm gonna meet somebody that's gonna buy or sell a house because of my attitude in a car wreck. A car wreck. I'm the happiest guy you'll ever meet in a car accident, ladies and gentlemen. What is my point? When you learn to love, not accept, not handle, not graciously with class manage the situation by focusing on the plan and not the problem. No, that's mediocre. Learning to love what you cannot control. Setting an intention to be, as my daughter calls me regularly, and she's very accurate, being extra. I'm about as extra as you can get, ladies and gentlemen, because I want to live an extra life. I want to be extra. I was born to be extra. You were born to be extra. Learning to love what you cannot control is the difference between you having a life of adventure that you love to live, where you are presented with situations daily that you get the opportunity to use your creative ability to fix and solve and improve, is so much actually better for you than a life in which everything that you planned in intricate detail is executed with precision and accuracy so that there's no mysterious things that occur to get your panties in a bunch. That's no way to live. That ain't no way to live life. What a boring life that would be if stuff went exactly the way that you thought it would go. It's a blessing from the good Lord. I end with this. How can I be anchored to such a great attitude when stuff goes wrong that's out of my control or was not in my plan? I'm glad you asked. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 4 and 5, which says this: trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the future holds, but I do know this. I know who holds the future. I hope today you choose to trust him and live a life of adventure like Indiana Jones, instead of a bulldog baptized in lemon juice, upset at every turn when things don't go your way. Today, choose to love what you can't control and see how big your life can get. Have a great day, guys.